Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 1 p.m. here in Chicago, Illinois. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Tuesday, January 11th, 2022. Still having the mental block. Every time I want to say the date, I still want to say 2021. And even when I say 2022, I'm thinking that I'm saying 2021. So just all sorts of weird things happening. Also, I've been listening to a lot of I always listen to a lot of podcasts, but I've been listening to a lot of podcasts where people are kind of like talking about the last couple of years, especially people that are like on Olympic cycles and everything like that, pro athletes. And when they're saying like last year, like I'm still thinking last year means 2020, or when people say 2021, I'm thinking they're talking about like just like all the numbers are completely messed up for me. I don't know how long that takes to fix. I think that right now is an especially unusual time. So who knows if that'll ever really get sorted out in my head. Maybe I'll just have to write it off and just wait till 2023. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. Everyone listening on the podcast, hopefully you guys are doing well, having a good run out there and staying warm. It was kind of cold today in Chicago, 9 degrees Fahrenheit for my run. Feels like temp of like -5 or something like that. It wasn't too bad, but occasionally you get some really strong gusts of wind, getting things really cold. The ice is starting to slush over in certain spots. It's one of my favorite things to see. Yeah, signals that it's getting some sustained bouts of cold here in Chicago. Everyone listening on YouTube after the fact, welcome to you guys. Glad you guys made it. Glad you guys found it. And hopefully you're relaxing with a recovery beverage. I just brewed a cup of coffee, so it's too hot for me to even drink right now, but I'm getting it very ready to jump into mine. All right. We got JC here in the chat, and everyone that's watching live right now. I could see there's 13 of you right now. Thank you so much for making it over. I know there's still going to be some transition. People are going to be finding it. People are going to be missing it because they're used to going to the other channel. I posted a community post on YouTube on the other channel, letting you know that here's where the live streams are going to be from now on. And it's good to see you guys. JC says, hello, everyone. I see the subscriber numbers are up. Let's get it higher. Yeah, I think that's just going to be, I mean, I won't always push like subscribe to this channel, but I will say subscribe to this channel because right now the Kofuzi Run Club channel does not show up very high in search results. So like if you're looking for this channel, it might be hard to find unless you're subscribed. So I think at least for a little while, it's going to be useful. Then you can unsubscribe later and then it's fine. But just for now, I think it's going to help if you guys subscribe to this. Martha's here as well, made it over. She says, hi, everyone, fixing lunch. So I'll be listening and chipping in too. See, I think that's the best like application for this live stream. I mean, there's definitely people enjoy like watching, sitting at a computer or at a phone and like chatting and typing. But I also just think that like it's really good background noise. So, I mean, in my personal humble opinion. So I feel like, I don't know, I think I need to be on the radio, a radio running show, just have it on at drive time. Or maybe, I mean, like it wouldn't make sense to put it on during long run time because people aren't listening to the radio on their long runs. But I don't know. We gotta think of something. We gotta figure it out. Sean Marshall says it's okay about adjusting to the new year mentally because it says it always takes a moment to readjust. Subco, what's going on, Sean? I think it's just taking me longer than most people. I don't know, like just mentally, I'm hearing it wrong. Like every time I hear it wrong. I don't know. It's just really, it's especially new. Especially different feeling this year. Eric the Red said, infiltrated the new channel, fist bump emoji. I love it. Eric, good to see you here. And Lucas says, yes, missed yesterday's due to the confusion on the channel switch. Yeah, sorry about that, Lucas, but glad you made it here. He listened to the podcast version, though, after the fact, and now he's subscribed to the new channel. Awesome. There you go. And thanks for still tuning in after the fact, even though you missed it. I know that's going to be frustrating for some people, so sorry about that. Sean says he's shopping for winter running tights. Maybe it's too late. It's never too late because you know where you are, you're going to get some late snow. I know we're going to get late snow and some cold temperatures, even when it's spring, you know? So he says, what are the favorites these days for winter running tights? I really like the rabbit, the pocket fleece, I think is what they're called. There's a capri size, so be careful. Don't get the capri, get the full size. There's also short, like half tights. So there's half, 3/4 and full. Get the full tights. Those are great. They've got a zipper. They're fleece lined. And they've got 3 pockets, 2 on each side and a phone pocket in the back. I feel like those are absolutely perfect. Those are probably my favorite for very, very cold if you're going to still go with tights. But some of these days I've been going to like the winter running pants, like winter joggers. So that's where I reach for the Craft Sub-Z stuff because that I think is the warmest for very, very cold. But for tights, I wore tights today on my run. I wore the Asics fleece tights. and those are pretty good. Just not enough pockets, and they're a touch short. I feel like they could use like another like half inch of length in the pant. But other than that, they've been really good to me in terms of warmth. Vincent Veneris is here, says, "Hey, Co, great video today. Thanks, everyone. Today was the we talked about it here on the live stream, maybe last week. Been thinking about like motivation versus momentum, and motivation is kind of like it's what is it? Not a muse. Is it a siren? I don't know. It's that thing that you chase, but you don't need it. I'm trying to think of like the Greek mythology analog, but it's it's something that is kind of like the blue wispy things in the beginning of the movie Brave. Do you remember seeing that in the Disney movie? It's kind of like that, and that's kind of like what I talked about today. Although I didn't put it in Disney movie or Greek mythology terms. But yeah, I really enjoyed that one. I feel like I like it, but I don't love that one. I feel like there's more there. I feel like I've only scratched the surface. So I think that we'll be kind of revisiting that kind of theme. Yeah, and I think Winter Running will give me plenty of opportunities to revisit. So if you liked it, it's good news. There's probably more coming. Steve is here, says, "Yo, what's going on? Made it. Glad to see you made it here, Steve. Awesome." And Martha says, just because of the pandemic, she's lost her sense of when things happened over the last couple of years too. Yeah, I'm for sure. I think that's definitely what it is. I remember at the new year turning, people were like, "Welcome to 2020 version 3." And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty good." I mean, that's a good shoe tuber joke. Even though that person wasn't a shoe tuber. So I mean, it's all kind of like Groundhog Day, very much so, which is coming up. Groundhog Day is coming up. I do like that day. And I love that movie. Did you guys see we talked about this too. Did you guys see the Christmas movie? There's like a Disney Christmas movie. I forget what it's called, but it's basically the same premise of Groundhog Day, but with Christmas. That's actually relatively entertaining. I don't think it's going to reach like, modern classic level, but for like the kids really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed it too. AHBC San Antonio says, "Howdy from San Antonio. Feeling momentum, not motivation." There you go. Today's run this morning was not like my best run, but another one where I got out there, put in the miles. Check. Sometimes just checking the box is all you can ask for. And a lot of times we talk about that pejoratively, but sometimes getting that done is a big accomplishment. Just getting it done, and so today I just got it done. Although there was some really beautiful scenery out there, though, so I feel like I got a lot more out of it than just a run today. All right. Courtney R says, "Hello from West Lafayette, Indiana." Welcome, Courtney. Good to see you. Hopefully you guys aren't getting too icy over there. I feel like this time of year, Indiana always gets it's hard, very ice with a lot of ice. So hopefully you guys are staying ice free over there. Brendan Cam is here and says, hello. What's going on, Brendan? And Chris Dyke is here with a wave. Hello, folks. I think Chris has changed his profile photo. Now he's showing off with that beautiful landscape in the back. Steve76 says, "Is there a revenue stream from podcasts?" No, because I haven't monetized any of the podcasts either. So like for a while I was putting in like I use Anchor, and then for a while like Anchor says like, well, if you put an Anchor commercial in your podcast, that's like their way of testing you out, and then if it works for them, then they could start feeding you stuff. And it started feeding me stuff after like the first I think in like a month when I started this, I made like $20 or something like that. I was like, this is not enough for me to do ad reads and all that stuff, and put commercials and things. So I'm like, let's just leave that free for now. So there's no revenue stream from the podcast. What I've been hearing a lot this year, it seems like a lot of the podcasters out there have figured out a way to get races to sponsor their podcasts. So I'm like, I need something like that. That's not so bad. Like a race that I'm going to go to anyway. But like the race that I want to go to, I don't think they would want to sponsor my podcast. But I think that would be really fun. And that would be a good way to do it. Like, combine the sponsorship with a bib and me attending the race and having some content around it. I think that kind of thing would be fun. But I just don't know how to work that out right now. I don't think Grandma's ever does anything like that. but I think a lot of other races are doing that. Chris Dyke says, imagine sharing that motivation speech when the news crews asked you why you run in the cold. That would have been amazing. Here's the thing that I mean, and I had that, I could have maybe done something like that, but I'm like, that'd be kind of weird to be all like, can you, like, it'd be like if they interviewed Goggins and he's all of a sudden, he's like just bursting out in profanities and how you have to like, scream at yourself until you are strong and like that kind of like motivational stuff, which Goggins is so good at. I think that might have been a little bit weird, but like, and people have mentioned it in the comments, like I really need to just have at the ready every time like it gets really cold is like, and with the air being so dry, the snow is just the right texture, perfect texture for running. Like I need to have that like just at the ready so I could deadpan give that as a serious answer to like, why are you out here? Or, what brings you out in these temperatures? So that I can have that. Cause I just feel like that I'm like, that's my biggest regret from that entire interview is that, I didn't have that at the ready. So like, I feel like I really need to be able to do that. So I've been trying to like memorize it and rewatch it and watch it over and over again in case I see other news crews. Now I did see a bunch of news crews on my run yesterday, but they were over. There's a spot by the Nature Museum where like, I don't think all of Chicago, but a lot of people in Chicago it's a spot where the city allows you to bring your like live Christmas tree. We have a fake one, but your live Christmas tree to dump it there. And then they turn it into wood chips. And so they were just like ABC 7 News was filming that. And ABC 7 News, I have been on already. So I wasn't like huge about it. I need to be on NBC and Fox. I'm not that interested in Fox, but NBC, Fox, and WTTW, the PBS channel. I don't think WTTW does a lot of like camera crews, just like, interviewing guy on the street stuff. So we'll see if that ever happens. Tracy says, whoa, here you all are. Looked yesterday. I must have missed the announcement. Sorry about that, Tracy. I know there's going to be some kind of some transition that's happening, but I wanted to move this over to the new channel to keep it separate. So that way people that don't like live streams, I think that there's a lot of people that don't ever watch live streams on YouTube. And so for those people, I think if they constantly see like the live stream, I think that could be off-putting for some new subscribers. So, I'll let them know that there is a live stream available. Doesn't cost anything. You can come every day. It's free, but that way people don't have to see it, Lucas H says, no worries. It's not frustrating at all. Oh, okay. About the live stream transition, he says, not frustrating at all. Catch about half of these live, half on the runs via podcast, and it's all good. Awesome. And excited for the channel split. I think it'll be great for the main channel. I think so. I think it will help for that consistency that YouTube is looking for, that like when people see a thumbnail, they click on it. I think if people regularly get in the habit of scrolling past every other thumbnail that I make, so like if one is a video and the other one is a live stream, they're skipping every other one, that like makes YouTube think that people don't like this channel that much. So I think, trying to really focus in on making sure that YouTube understands that people like the videos. That's kind of the signal I want to send out. All right. Tracy Smith says, by the way, she watched Tracy, I'm sorry, I don't know. But Tracy said they watched the no motivation video before heading out in 8 degrees. And despite the name, it was motivating. All right. Unintentional. But I guess that's what I'm kind of trying to do is create motivation out of no motivation, or, let everyone know that you don't need it. It's a crutch. But, if you need the no motivation video to give you motivation, I'll take it. I think that also works. We're getting to the same place ultimately, is that we're getting past our kind of like writer's block. I think it's the same energy, that writer's block. Alexi Pappas talks about it a lot, like writer's block and not feeling motivated to run. I think is the two sides of the same coin. All right. Sean Devlin says, hey Kofuzi, rewatching some of your old marathon plan and Martin videos to figure out fueling for Boston training and racing. Very helpful. Awesome, Sean. That's so cool. It's exciting. Boston's going to be really exciting this year. They just announced, I think, just the women's field. So it's going to be pretty stacked. Des is coming back, of course. And Sarah Hall, Molly Seidel, Dakota Lindworm, also a Puma athlete with Molly. They're going to be there. And then we've got Kellen Taylor, Steph Bruce. Steph Bruce is retiring at the end of the year. So this will be her last Boston. So pretty cool. I'm hoping that means that Steph Bruce is going to be running Boston and maybe Chicago again in the fall. That'd be cool to see. So yeah, really good field. I don't think I saw Emma Bates in there. So I don't know if she's not running a spring marathon or what. But I don't remember off the top of my head either. But yeah, a lot of athletes are in that. So very, very, very cool. Boston's going to be great this year, I think. Oh yeah, and Tracy says, did you see all the elite women that were announced for Boston today? Yeah, very cool. Sean says, today in class, Sean teaches and says, today in class I said, this article's from 2 years ago in 2018. And then I realized my complete subtraction of pandemic time and correct it. That's so funny. That's so funny. All right. Brandon says, love the video today. Something I try to get across when people ask me how I keep the motivation to eat well and exercise. My response is always crude. Motivation isn't necessary. The commitment, I'm paraphrasing there, and the commitment is real. Yeah, that's the same thing. Saying the same thing. Yeah, I love it. Bishanom R says, hello from Southern Connecticut. Awesome. Welcome. Hopefully you guys I think you guys got some wintry blasts up there. Hope you guys are staying warm. And yeah, I think I saw some pictures from my brother-in-law that they had some snow days out there. So hopefully you guys are doing all right. Bento Sakai says, absolutely freezing in Toronto, but I got to get my run in this evening. There you go. Go get it. Definitely go get it. And Chris Dyke said he felt the same about his mile repeats today. Did not enjoy, but got it done. Well done. And Courtney R definitely checked the box today and then commented on the post. I've worked the last 6 days, 62 hours total, which was exhausted this morning, but I got out there for an easy 5 miler and it felt so good to get outside. Thanks for all you do. Well, that's amazing. 62 hours in 6 days. That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work. You still, that might be a day where I'm like, yes, it might be better. It might be okay to relax. But you did get it done. And, I think that the kind of like, it's like a palate cleanser, if you've been working that much, to just get out there, change gears a little bit. I think that's awesome. So great. I'm glad that you're feeling good. All right. Yeah, Eric Durant says, can you imagine if Goggins was interviewed by the local news? Like, can you imagine that of one time, like maybe he's getting training for like Moab and he's just out in the desert and like running with like a jogging stroller full of supplies, and people are like the local news is like, this is a record-setting heat day. The asphalt is melting and look at this guy. Let's see if we get to talk to him. Sir, why are you out here today? Can you imagine that? He's gonna be like, because the world don't give a if you are tired or if you think it's hot, you got to get out there. You got to run anyway. There's someone else that's out there running. They don't care if it's a record-setting heat day. Like there's gonna be they would be like, whoa, sir, we cannot use any of that. He's like, I don't care if you can use any of this. You ask me a question, you ask me directly, I'll give you a direct answer. Oh my goodness, that'd be funny. That's funny. All right. Martha wants to know if I run by the Adler Planetarium. Adler was a distant cousin of my dad. Oh, really? Unfortunately, too distant. I do run by the Adler Planetarium sometime. If I go to 13 miles, the Adler Planetarium is my turnaround point. So if I run like a half marathon, then I'll just once I get near the planetarium, I'll kind of hook a left. And as long as it's not too icy, I can run by the water and get a really nice shot of the city, go to the planetarium and then turn around. And then it'll be just about a half marathon from my door. So that's usually when I go. I like the Adler Planetarium a lot. It's small though, compared to like the size of the other museums on the museum campus, the Natural History Museum, the Field Museum, and the aquarium, Shedd Aquarium. The Adler's a lot smaller, but I feel like it's underrated as well. All right, I'm gonna scroll down, catch up to you guys. We got a lot of people here today. We got 46 people right now, which is a little bit lower than normal, but I think with the transitions, people are still finding it. So, I feel like we're in a good spot. All right. Jay Manon says, have you read The War of Art? Great book all about overcoming resistance in all forms and endeavors. Yeah, I think about that a lot too. I haven't read it. I keep thinking that I'm going to get it on audiobook, but it's a short audiobook, so I don't want to use one of my Audible credits on it. And so like I'm thinking at one time, like once I'm out of like Audible credits, I'll go just buy the audiobook. But I did listen to I think Rich Roll interviewed the author on that. I think that's who did. One of the podcasts that I regularly listen to interviewed the author, and I thought it was really good. And I love the idea of those kind of resistance. Like how do we get from blank page to final draft? How do we get from blank page to even just first draft? That kind of idea, or blank canvas to art. I think those are like that struggle. It's a very fascinating thing. It's romanticized for sure. But I also think that it's just very intriguing, that whole process. So I do think it's been on my list for months. I just need to get it at some point. Ooh, Shannon says, maybe you just mentioned this, but I heard Nell Rojas just signed with Adidas. Thanks, Chris Dyke. Which seems perfect since she's the reigning American in Boston. Ooh, I did not know that. But that makes sense to me. I think I've seen her running in Adidas shoes previously. So she likes the brand already, if I'm not mistaken. But I didn't know that. But makes complete sense. It's a good way to bring her back. Is she running Boston? I'm assuming she is. I can't imagine she wouldn't. But now she's gonna be running with a much what? Well, I'm trying to think. What was the field like last year? It's not like no one showed up last year. But yeah, very cool. Very cool. Interesting. Adam Pierce says, what's going on, Adam? Says, just back from whole blood donation, first donation in 4 years. Too frequent resulted in low iron and ferritin. Raced over the weekend and no big races for another 3 months. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. So like you didn't donate blood because after you donated blood, you ended up with low ferritin? I think that's what you mean. Not like they didn't let you donate blood because you had low. Yeah, I think I got it right the first time. All right. Well, there you go. That's good. Good to donate blood. I'm a universal acceptor in terms of my blood type, and I'm always on the fence of whether or not I should donate blood. I suppose the best way to do that is to ask the blood donation people if they would want my blood anyway, because I think it's like less than 10% of the population has universal acceptor blood type. And so but the only people that could take my blood are other universal acceptors. So I don't know. Maybe I should revisit that because I feel like that's something that I can do if it's worth it. I don't know if it is or not. David Ernst says, the no motivation video is incredible. I want to set it as my morning alarm. I shared it across my iFit group and my pulmonary embolism awareness group. Well, thanks so much. I feel like that's very helpful for people that make videos and also very flattering as well. So thank you for sharing, David. I really appreciate that. That made my day. Thank you. Runner Dre says, hi, all. What's going on, Runner Dre? And Martha says, I'm looking forward to catching up on your video along with some others on the treadmill today. Got the okay from the ortho to either walk or jog if it feels okay. Great news. And it appears to be not too serious. Well, that's a relief. Awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy. Lena says, always love your motivation videos. Thanks for doing the video as opposed to just doing it on Instagram. Yeah. I'm thinking that I may chop it up a little bit to try and get it to fit within a minute on TikTok. Not that I can make videos that are longer on TikTok, but the music licensing is a weird. Music licensing makes no sense in 2022. But the music, there's like a truck or something outside, like an air horn. Oh yeah, I don't know what that truck's doing. But the music licensing service that I use says I can use the music on TikTok, but TikTok doesn't let me use that music if the video's over a minute, even though I can post videos over. It's weird. I'm not sure what's going on. So I got to figure out a way I can chop it down to a minute. It's only like 2 minutes right now. So I think I could do it. But but I think that it fit better as a 2-minute video, not a 1-minute video. So that's how I made the decision on that. All right. Video says running my 23rd Houston Marathon this weekend. Might have a running problem. No, I don't think it's a problem. I think that's a good streak. You got some momentum there. It says go Fuzzy. Yeah, I'm definitely getting some FOMO not being in Houston this weekend. The Minnesota Disting Elite team is sending, I think, 3 runners down there. And then Dr. Josh is running. Amelia Benton, the writer, she's going to be running. She's been training for a while. And she uses like CIM as a workout leading up to the Houston Marathon, which I guess makes sense time-wise. And then, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that are going to be out in Houston. I hope you guys have fun. I hope you guys have good weather. So enjoy. I wish I were there. All right. Shannon says that Nell Rojas is running Boston, and she's got a YouTube series about building up again for it. Awesome. Very cool. I can't wait to see that. You know what, guys? I got to tell you, I love like that pros are putting together like little, even if they're not like full in on like I have a YouTube channel, that they're putting together at least series or like, periodic content, so I think it's good for the sport, especially since it's a sport where, most marathoners don't race more than twice a year, at least marathons. Maybe they do other races to tune up, but like, like a spring marathon and a fall marathon, that's it. You get 2 chances. So this is ways to, kind of like be in front of an audience multiple times per year. So I think it's great. And I enjoy it. I watch all of it too. And Shannon says that Nell Rojas' dad, Rick Rojas, is also coaching the Sweat Elite guy. Oh, he is? That Sweat Elite guy is ridiculously fast. Yeah. Like I think he made a video of himself, like someone else filmed him doing like a workout. And I think he's like a 2:30 something marathoner. So like, yeah, he's fast. No joke. All right. Stevie76 says, your blood comes from a non-elite runner. I mean, do you think that makes a difference? I mean, like blood doping jokes aside, right? Like, do you think that if I like donated my blood, not that I'm like the most fit individual ever, but I think I'm above average in terms of my aerobic fitness, like, will someone be like, oh, I feel really good today, like after my transfusion? But I mean, I feel like anyone getting a transfusion probably just had like surgery or a traumatic injury or something, so it's probably all muddled with the painkillers and recovering from whatever operation that they had. Yeah. Leona says, I'm loving my Deckers X Lab shoes that I got myself for this Christmas. Also got some for family, super comfy. I have the Deckers Lab boots. They're like Uggs, but they're Uggs with a rocker, a little bit thicker of a midsole too, and they have a rocker on it. But they're like fuzzy and furry and stuff. And I wore them I took the kids to rock climbing yesterday. And rock climbing, you have to show proof of vaccination to be able to be in there, and you still have to wear a mask indoors. So I'm like, I'm comfortable with that. Although it got super busy in there with the CPS strike or work stoppage. Like I think everyone sent their kids to do rock climbing yesterday. We have a regularly scheduled class though. But we were there, and I was just sitting on waiting with one of my kids while the other kid was climbing. And then someone was like, oh, are those the Deckers Lab boots? I'm like, they are. Are they comfortable? I'm like, they are. And I'm like, but these aren't like hiking boots. They're not going to last very long. But while you have them, they're super, super comfortable. And I think they'll last fine, like a normal Ugg would. But they're not going to be like this rock climbing gym. People are wearing like Columbia and like Innovate
and all that kind of stuff, like hiking boots. So I'm like, they're not hiking boots, but they're very comfortable. She's like, oh, it's good to see that you like them. I'm like, I love these. I didn't tell her that I got them for free from Deckers, but for doing a review, but I do enjoy them quite a bit. Sean Marshall says music licensing has never made any sense. Yeah, I was watching Hank Green on TikTok. He's complaining about how like he could do a cover of a song on TikTok and even monetize it for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and for free. But like he included like some song lyrics in his books, and it cost him like $10,000 or $15,000. And he was like, "This is ridiculous. This makes no sense." So I'm like, "Well, that guy's got a real problem." I don't know. I mean, I've studied copyright law, and sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure, is this permitted use, or this isn't fair use? I don't know how I'm using this, but hopefully no one will complain. So it doesn't make any sense to me. All right, Mika says, what's going on? Mika says, hello, funny winter. Today only -2 degrees Celsius, but absolutely blinding white blizzard with piercing wind. Slog through easy 9K though. That's tough. See, the thing is that when it's real cold, it won't snow. So like when it warms up, it does get snowier. At least it doesn't snow like around here. When it gets this cold, rarely do you get actual snow. But it's supposed to warm up tomorrow. I think we're supposed to be close to freezing temp tomorrow. Real windy this afternoon as it warms up, but then freeze like just regular cold tomorrow. So I'm going to try to get a workout in tomorrow. I think tomorrow I'm going to try to run in. I've already run in the Carbon X3, but I think I'm going to make my first run video tomorrow about the Carbon X3 if I can get a workout in. So looking forward to some relative warmth. All right, so Adam's clearing up on the blood donation situation. He says, a few years ago, after 4 donations in 10 months, which is a lot, they rejected me when I tried for a 5th because the hemoglobin was too low. Oh, I then tested iron and ferritin, and he needs to work it around big races. Okay, well, that makes sense. That's not something I had ever really, I mean, it makes complete intuitive sense now, but it's not something I ever really thought about too much. Other than like, well, you don't want to do it like the week before because then your blood volume is going to be low. But yeah, that makes sense. All right, JC says there's really good weather forecast for Houston. Kind of wish I had signed up for the app. See, that's going to make me have real FOMO. If it's just like really balmy and not that humid. Yeah. I mean, even when I was there, I overdressed. I don't remember what year that was. I think that was 2020. But when I was there, I overdressed. But it was like 45 degrees at the start, 55 by the finish. It was a little bit on the humid side, but it was a good day. Got some wind in the middle there, though. In the tough middle miles, there was some stiff wind. But yeah, I mean, nothing I can really complain about. Oh, Jay from LA is here. Good to see you again. Says, Happy New Year to you and your family. Any daily training shoe from Saucony other than the Endorphin Speed? Saucony, I like the New Balance Beacon. I also really like the Triumph 19. It's a little bit thick and heavy for a daily trainer, but I've been using it as a daily trainer and I think it works great. So I like the Triumph 19. That reminds me though, like I think this year it's beginning to become more apparent than ever that like the line between max cushion and daily trainer is really, really blurred. I'm not even sure if the categories make sense anymore. I don't know if in 2022 there will be 5 noteworthy. I mean, not let alone like 5 of my favorite, but I don't even think there'll be 5 noteworthy like max cushion shoes. I think the shoes that we think are normally max cushion are not really tall stack height. They're just puffy uppers. So like, I don't know if I just now categorize all those as daily trainers, kind of like the Triumph 19. I mean, the Triumph 19 still has a tall stack height and it's not that puffy. So I do think it's still kind of a max cushion shoe, but now all the max cushion shoes want to just run like daily trainers. And a lot of them are doing a really good job. And I think it's going to be a really good year for that. So like, I don't know, like I'm thinking like long distance daily trainer and shorter distance daily trainer, like a marathoner's daily trainer, and then like the 5K, 10K. But then I don't want people to think like the one category is lesser than another, Sometimes I think people think that about the shorter distance people, which I don't think that's true. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to how do I talk about shoes this year, because I don't want to have like, you know, here's the 5 Max Cushion shoes I reviewed, all 5 of them, and then here's the 5 trail shoes I reviewed this year, all 5 of them, and then like here's the top 5 of 20 daily trainer shoes. I feel like that's a weird way to look at them if I'm trying to look at it from like a year-end perspective, but maybe I'm making too big a deal of it too. I don't know. But ultimately, I mean, I'm really excited about 2022 shoes. I think it's gonna be a really good year. All right, Chris Dyke said his 8K race was postponed this weekend. Ooh, but the first half marathon in Vancouver, a much larger event, is still on for early February. My dog just did a at the same time I did. I don't know why he did that. Well, I hope you get the half marathon. That they would postpone an 8K race, though, seems kind of odd. I finally, by the way, finally just watched. I'm gonna scroll down to keep up with you guys in the chat. I finally watched the Nick Willis video for his 20th sub 4 mile attempt. That was a good video. I really liked that video. I feel like Nick Willis can make some really good motivational videos. I feel like he could do that. Yeah, like some of the stuff he was saying, like leading up to it, describing what it is to run a 4-minute mile race, you know, like why he likes the mile race so much. He's really good, really, really good, very captivating. I really enjoyed it. And overall, the entire video was really good too. So and it just made me think like, oh my goodness, I really wish I could have been there for this event. Like, I feel like if that event hadn't been canceled, it would have been such a fun event to go to, because they still ran the race at the Armory. And it's an indoor track. So, but as far as an indoor track facility goes, it's really big. But as far as like a sporting venue goes, it's really small. So like if it was set up with like, you know, people on the infield and then people in the grandstands, like that would have been like super intense to watch. And really all I want is for running to look more like Fight Club sometimes. And I feel like that would have had that look. That would have really looked like that. And I think I would have really enjoyed it. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's a weird thing to say, but being honest with that. So I really wish like I could have been at that event. I think it was just been so intense to watch. And especially if it could have been like full out with like, you know, the place full. So Frank wants to know, do we know when he'll try again? I don't know. From the end of the video, he said it's going to take me a while to like recover from this and then be mentally ready to build up for another attempt. And so like, you know, I'm not a miler by any means. And I ran the mile in high school for like maybe 1 or 2 seasons before they realized I was not a good miler. But like, I don't know what training for a mile looks like. I mean, I've talked to him about his training. He runs like 90 miles. He used to. I don't think he runs this much anymore, but he used to run like 90-mile weeks, just to race a mile, you know? And so like I don't know if it's like with the mile, you can like, all right, take another week or 2 off and then go after it again. Cause he was off by 0.22 seconds. So that tells you the fitness is there. He just needs like he could probably just keep running them and eventually he'll get it. But maybe, you know, he wants a little bit more time because he doesn't think that he's right there. I mean, 0.22 seconds for a miler, that's a lot, I guess. I think. I don't know. Edgar Smith says, crazy that Nick still ran that fast post-COVID. Yeah, and I don't know if you guys saw that post, but apparently right around Christmas time, he had it. He's boosted, but he wasn't he was vaccinated but not boosted. He was going to wait till after the mile to get boosted. And he got it. And I think that he ended up it ended up spreading around his house. But he had a relatively quick course of it. So like him running there is running post-COVID. So like I feel like then again, with his lifetime miles and his level of fitness now, you can just give him another month and he should be able to do it. But I think at this point, then it's just like, all right, well, when do you get the opportunity for a race that one would count for the record for the 20 straight years. Like, I don't know that it would count if he did it like on his treadmill, right? So like something between doing it on a treadmill and like it being at like the Milrose games, like the Milrose meet, is it meet games? I don't know, that one, which is also at the Armory, like something in between that level of officialness needs to be there. So like there needs to be the right opportunity, and then he's got to get the training right, and then he needs to have right rabbits in there with them. It was good to see Furlick and Hopskesser running in their new Adidas kit. So that was good too. It was good. It's just a really great video. And I think really good for the sport. All right. Let's see. We'll do a couple more for today. Sorry that there's no trivia today, guys. I just didn't get to it. Part of it is that like our schedule's all thrown off. I don't want to blame the kids, but we've had the kids at home do their work stoppage with CPS and the city, or CTU versus CPS, the teachers union versus the public school system. But good news, the teachers are back in school today, and students will be back in school tomorrow. So getting semblance of normalcy back. I think for our school, we're fine. I think we were always fine in this school, in this neighborhood. I think the level of cases is low, and the vaccination rate has always been very high from the beginning. And I think that based on how difficult it was to get our kids vaccinated at our doctor's office, I have a feeling, because like everyone I think goes to like the same handful of doctors in this area, everyone in the school. I think the vaccination rate is really high at the school. So I'm comfortable sending them there and sending them any place where its vaccines are required to get in, which is in a lot of places in Chicago now. So feeling good about that. But you feel for like, those are my kids are the kids that we're worried about here in this situation. So still worried about them. He says we would have had trivia if it wasn't for those meddling kids. And their dog too. The dog has been particularly unruly the past couple of days. Let me tell you, I'm a little bit annoyed with him lately. I don't know if it's. I think when he's feeling good, that's when he gets himself into some mischief. So it's just like he's an older dog, so I don't want to begrudge him feeling good. But when he feels good, his favorite activity right now seems to be to do things to antagonize all of us here. So that, and their meddling dog too is for sure qualifies in that statement. Martha says, "Buddy, is he having a midlife crisis?" Well, he's an end of life crisis. He's a 13-year-old dog. His birthday is the start of the Beijing Olympics. 08. So his full name is Buddy Jackpot. So yeah, he's an old dog for a French bulldog mix. I don't think they normally live this long. Like every time I take him to the vet, they're like, anything else wrong with him? Like when he reasons why, like if I bring him in for shots or something, they're like, why are you here today? I'm like, oh, she needs some shots. He goes, anything else? I'm like, I don't know. He's 14. Like, how many things you want me to go over? And they're like, just anything new. So that's kind of where we're at. That's where we're at with the dog. So yeah. Time says the kids go back to tomorrow, right? Heard that on PR. Yeah, they do go back tomorrow. I think it's good. I think that I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. I don't want to get too much of a rant in it because I've been ranting with my wife. Like we've just been like yelling at each other while we both agree, but we're like kind of like arguing with the air, like how we can't believe people. Don't they know that? Don't they realize? And then like we're just like agreeing with each other, but it sounds like we're arguing. It must be very confusing for the kids. But yeah, I think that there's some measures that they've taken that I think are going to help people make more sense of things and be safer. I think ultimately, no matter what people have said that they're arguing over, I think what they're arguing over is when is it not safe for the kids to be in school? That's the only thing that we're really arguing. The language, the posturing sometimes is helpful to that conversation or not. But ultimately, that's a conversation that I think we're all trying to figure out, and we don't know. And we're trying to figure out how do we decide that. And I think what makes sense is they're coming down on the idea that making one decision for the entire school district of 300,000 kids is not necessarily efficient, but making decisions more on a classroom or a school size, a single school level is a little bit more efficient. So I think that that's some progress to being a little bit more reasonable, and also safe at the same time. So I'm looking forward to it, because I'm just like, whenever stuff like this happens, the entire city just gets real grumpy about it too. Yeah, so it's I think things will get better. Things will get better. Yeah, Maui Swift wants to know if Buddy is bored. I've been, here's the thing. He's older, and I don't know if his like teeth hurt, but he doesn't like it's been a couple of years since he's destroyed a chew toy or like a stuffed animal or anything like that. He doesn't really even go after him anymore, unless we really play with him with it. So I don't know if his jaws are messed up, but like all the kind of enrichment things that we try to give him to keep him entertained don't really work. But he's also usually too tired to really he doesn't want to go on long walks and stuff anymore. So I don't know how to keep him a little bit more entertained. But I also think during the pandemic, because we've been here constantly, he gets really anxious anytime we're not here. So our neighbors have been like, hey, it's not a big problem, but we did want to let you know your dog barked straight for 4 hours. So I don't really know what's his deal. And right now, this is something he'll do. I mean, he only has one eye. He lost the other one about a year and a half ago, and I don't know how well he sees out of the other one right now. He seems to see fine when there's treats involved, but any other time he's walking into walls. But because I'll still throw treats to him, and he'll jump up in the air and catch them. Not jump, but he'll reach up and grab them, so he can still do that. But sometimes I'll just look over at he's doing it right now. But he's just staring at me right now. Maybe he knows I'm talking about him. But then other times, I'll just look at him, and he'll be standing half in, half out of his crate, and just staring inside the crate, just butt sticking out. He's just staring at the wall. And other times he'll just stare at stuff, really close to it too, nose right up to a wall and stare at a wall, right up to it. I don't know what's going on in his head when he's doing that. I don't even know. I don't think he's here when he does that. I don't know where he goes, but he's not here. Yeah. Adam says, I'm older and my teeth hurt. That's funny. That's funny. Martha says, getting old ain't for sissies, including dogs. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, Maui says, my dog does that too, barking when we're gone. He never really did that before. I mean, he used to be used to us leaving all day, every day. And he would be home and just sitting in his crate we would sometimes let him out, but if he did, he'd end up, on the couch or knocking the garbage over or stuff like that. So we would leave him in the crate and he'd be fine, or it seemed that he would be fine for 10, 12 hours a day when he was younger. Now, I went to go get the laundry, and I put him in the crate, and because I was going to be the only one home. My wife took the kids rock climbing today. So that's where they are. But I just went to go get the laundry, so I put him in the crate for a minute because it seems like even when he doesn't need to pee, if I leave him alone, he'll try to pee on stuff. So I put him in the crate, but even just the minutes that it took me to get the laundry, he was barking when I came back. So I'm like, what is he doing? What's wrong with him? I don't know if he's nervous, if he's anxious or what. I don't know. But I don't know. I think he's just getting old, I guess. Yeah, Maui says dementia a little, maybe. I think those kinds of things that happen to his, older brains is what's happening to him. I don't really know what's gotten into him sometimes. The thing that is nice though is he I joke with the with my kids that Buddy is 13 years old going on 14, and he finally learned how to be a dog this year. Because now he actually if we're sitting on the floor playing board games and stuff, he'll actually come over and get petted. Before he was a lot more like a cat a lot of times. I don't think he really ever liked us completely. But now he's I guess I'll go see what these humans are doing. So now he comes over and hangs out sometimes. When he was a puppy, he used to always sit on our feet. And if we moved and sat in another chair, he would come over and sit on our feet again. He always wanted to be near us. And then for a while, when he was a little bit older, he would try to herd us, Herd. So like if we were outside and like playing, he would start barking and like trying to like huddle us together so he could keep an eye on us. And then a little after that, as soon as we got outside, he would run away. And then now he's older, and he realized that I'm faster than him now, so he doesn't try to run away anymore. And actually like comes and tries to hang out with us. So I don't know. He's gone through a lot of changes. Runner Dre says you should do more strength videos with the dog. Those are fun. Yeah, maybe I'll get the dog involved in some videos. He might like that. Angel Johnson 234 says, does he turn in circles? My 13-year-old Yorkie mix is blind. He stares at the wall sometimes and turns in circles. He doesn't do the circles thing. I haven't seen him do that before. So yeah, that's not one, but I wouldn't be surprised if he started doing that. Yeah. Martha said she had to put her not very healthy 16-year-old cat when she started walking into the walls. Yeah, so hard. She had toxoplasmosis. Yeah, I think we're coming to that soon. I think. I mean, I've been living in this building long enough to have seen all the puppies basically go. Our dog is like the last one left. So this building turned from apartments to condo back in like 2007, and we bought right away. We bought like the first weekend it turned over, and so we've been here as long as that's the only time the building has allowed dogs. So we've been here and had a dog as long as the building's allowed dogs, and like all the other dogs that were the same age as my dog, you know, I've seen their owners like as like they get older. Some of them have needed, you know, like little carriages or something like that, depending on how big the dog was to get around better. So it's just like I've seen this show before. I know how it ends. So we're getting there, I think. But every time I think like, oh boy, like I'll tell my wife, I'm like, oh, I think he's gonna die this weekend. Then I'll be like, guess what? She's like, is he okay? I'm like, yeah, he's fine. He just knocked over the garbage and then peed in the floor. So it's just like, this dog. So I don't know. Like he's either going to go soon or he's going to be here for another 5 years, I think. I give it 50-50 either way. Either way. Time Matt says, ever go to Dark Matter on Chicago? Yeah, I like Dark Matter coffee. I don't know if I've been to that one. There's more than I've had the coffee. I see it in the store. I think I don't know where I've been to a location. I'm trying to think. But it is good coffee. It's good coffee. I like that one. Time Out says the coffee bags always amaze me. Very great designs. I like them. Time Out says, oh, you can't ever have a dog in here. No, we can. We can have more dogs. But like before it became a condo building, it was an apartment building that didn't allow pets. I think it allowed cats. But when it became a condo, then it allowed dogs. So yeah. Leona thinks, do we need diapers? Yeah, my wife thinks that we might start needing the doggy diapers. My brother-in-law, him and his wife, they just lost their beagle. It was a really good dog. She was 16, and that dog had diapers for a while. And I'm like, that seems like a lot. But I mean, that's only a minor problem. I mean, it's like, I'm not going to put down a dog because it needs a diaper, but you know, I feel like it's a slide down to the end once you start to get to that point, you know. Stevie76 says, Buddy is saying, I can hear you. I mean, he's been like kind of like, I think he knows we are talking about him because he's been like milling around like right over here. There's a little bit off camera. He's been milling around. He's like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys talking about? Oh man. All right. Liam Mahoney says, hey dude, best shoes for a wide footer? I find Nike's narrow. I mean, if you really want to go there's certain shoes like Nikes even make wide versions. So like if you like the Nike shoes, except for they just fit a little bit narrow, I would suggest trying a wide version. So not every model, but some of the models like that are more popular, like the Pegasus, for example, will come in a wide. If you don't like the way even their wides fit, I would take a look at Altra, ALTRA. They make shoes that have just a lot more room. They pride themselves on foot-shaped shoes. And so there's a lot more room for the toes to splay and move around in a little bit more of a natural way. That's what their marketing is. And I do find their shoes to be very comfortable. So that's something to look at. I think that a lot of brands have a variety. Like people are like, oh, sometimes Hoka's are great, sometimes they're not. And I think that the brands change the width, relatively speaking, of the shoes, depending on like who the audience is and also what the shoe is for. So like if it's a shoe is going to be a little bit more speed oriented, it's going to tend to fit a little bit more snugly. But if the shoe is a little bit more relaxed, more for every day, then it might be a little bit more comfortable in terms of the fit and how tight it is. And some people are like, well, then you just size up or size down. I think that can work, but I think of shoe sizing like that as like, skinny jeans versus like loose fit, right? Like the fit is the fit, right? You either like the fit or you don't. Like the fit and the sizing are like correlated, but they're not the same thing, So like that might be something to check out, is like which shoe you're looking at. Maybe there's a more relaxed one that would suit you better depending on how you're using the shoe. But also there are other brands that are known for having better wide toe boxes. I feel like Saucony's been making a lot of really great uppers across the line in all their shoes lately. New Balance has been doing a really good job. Asics has been doing a good job. Hoka's are a little bit less. You have to kind of test. I'm like, I'm not sure which one this one's going to go sometimes. And same thing with Adidas. It's like sometimes this is right on. Sometimes I'm a little bit surprised. But I also think that those are two companies that make a larger assortment of shoes. So maybe that's part of what it is too. Hopefully that answers the question. Chris Dyke says, it might be too late in the stream, and this is a good way to end it. It might be too late in the stream to discuss this, but Shannon asked a great question yesterday. Which company would you choose as a sponsor, contract money aside? Well, I mean, I feel like I had like a really great, maybe it's because I put it out into the universe. And it's one like the secret kind of thing. I manifested it. So remember, I don't know if you guys remember, a while ago, I was like, you know what I need? If I'm going to have a sponsor, what I really need is like something that's completely unrelated to running. So like I would love to be sponsored by like Rocket Mortgage or something like that. And so like I still think that would be like ideal. But last year I worked with Bank of America to make some of my Chicago Marathon content. I'm like, this is perfect because it's banking. It's not like a shoe. It's not competing with other stuff. So I don't have to do those disclosures when I review stuff later. Like, just so you know, I've worked with Bank of America in the past and they send me, like sometimes I still make that kind of disclosure, but I thought it was cleaner. So like, I think those are like ideal. But I think that for like, if it's going to be more running oriented, yeah, I think that like having one that's like, if I'm going to review shoes, like for example, like I think if you look at Sage's channel, like he did review shoes. Like when the Ring-Con first came out, he started reviewing shoes. But I think that because he's like a sponsored athlete for that brand, I think it makes it hard for him to do like a review. Maybe he just didn't like doing reviews. I don't know. So like being in this space, depending on how you want to exist in this space, taking on like a shoe sponsor is kind of tough. It's very tricky. You got to do it very carefully. So it would probably be like an apparel brand, if I were going to pick one. So like, I don't know. I really like Path. I've done a lot of work with them. I really like Rabbit. I want to do more work with them. Like those are two apparel brands I really like. Craft would be a dream as well, or Gore-Tex. I mean, let's do Gore-Tex. Gore-Tex would be the one. Yeah, Gore-Tex. Let's say Gore-Tex. I like that because Gore-Tex can be in multiple brands, in multiple spaces, and it's always good. Well, I don't know. I guess I haven't tried enough to say it's always good, but I like Gore-Tex. It's Gore-Tex cherry, so it's good. All right. I think it's a good place to leave it for today, guys. Thanks everybody for making it to the live stream on this channel. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. It'll make it easier for you to find the live streams in the future. Otherwise, I still probably for at least the rest of this week and probably into next week as well, we'll be posting about how to click directly into the live streams until everyone kind of like gets situated back over here. Does that make sense? Cool. Tomorrow's video is going to be about the Nimbus Lite 3. That's going to be a fun video. I really like that shoe. That's a good one. Highly recommend. So check out that video tomorrow, and then we'll do another live stream same time as today, 1 p.m. Central, right here on the Kafuzi Run Club YouTube channel. Until I see you again, guys. Thanks. Be safe.